can't do like they did with the other kid, Big Baby from the US, and put him in too early because you're ruining him. You understand me? You can't put him in too early like that. So if you give him a few more test runs, Dylan Whyte is a great test run for him. If he does that, give him something a little bit higher than that, then you let him fight Usyk.
He's not boxed anybody yet, really. He's not boxed anyone inside the top 50. Usyk's still around. You still got Dubois. Still got Fury. These are all going to be around for the next 12 months, so.
He goes to Nigeria and shuts the country down.
Yeah.
This boy, he's an Olympic gold medalist. He's the country, like, he won an Olympic gold medal in his country in front of millions. The face of the heavyweight division.
It to be like, yeah, that guy whooped my ass. Like, he handed it to me. Like, I don't want anyone to like kind of say that. I wanna be like Floyd Mayweather, for example, where
Roy Jones Jr. isn't mincing his words when it comes to Moses Itauma stepping into the ring with Dillian Whyte. The boxing legend has called the matchup risky, not because Itauma lacks talent, but because of the stage, the opponent, and the timing. Jones believes this is the kind of fight that can define a young heavyweight's career, or derail it if things go wrong.
I haven't seen a lot of him. I have seen small clips of him, but he's fighting a good fight with Dylan Whyte right now. This is the fight he needs to get the extra experience. So once he gets a few more experience fights, then you put him in.
For Jones, the danger lies in the fact that Whyte is no ordinary opponent. With years of top-level experience, heavy hands, and a reputation for making fights gritty and rough, Whyte has the tools to test any rising contender. Jones respects Itauma's skill, but he also knows that facing someone as seasoned and unpredictable as Whyte is a challenge that even promising talents can underestimate.
You can't do like they did with the other kid, Big Baby from the US, and put him in too early because you're ruining him. You understand me? You can't put him in too early like that. So if you give him a few more test runs, Dylan Whyte is a great test run for him. If he does that, give him something a little bit higher than that, then you let him fight Usyk.
Still, this fight is happening, and it's already one of the most talked about matchups in recent heavyweight boxing. Itauma, the young phenom, has been steadily building his name, gaining attention for his speed, power, and confidence. Whyte, meanwhile, is looking to reassert himself after some tough moments in recent years. Both men have plenty to prove, and both understand that the stakes couldn't be higher.
I know any heavyweight has enough force, has enough power, has enough pressure to cause damage to me. So that's why it's just the safest way to not get tested. If I hit Dillian Whyte with a good shot, I'm not gonna be like, oh, let me ease up here and then get the rounds in, because the round later, he's going to hit me with a good shot. He's not going to say the same thing, is he? He's going to take me out.
The latest updates around the fight have only fueled the anticipation. Itauma has been making headlines not just for his training, but for the back and forth with Whyte's team. At one point, Whyte's trainer suggested that Itauma wasn't studying his opponent's fight footage closely enough, a claim that Itauma quickly shut down. The young heavyweight fired back, saying he's taking the fight seriously and knows exactly what he's up against. In his mind, the idea that he's underprepared is just talk meant to throw him off.
Buddy McGirt was saying that it's like, when he was boxing, did he study fighters? I can imagine he probably did. Like, so why is it now that you're coaching somebody that you won't study them? It's because there's no what's the right word? I don't want to say accountability, but it's like he's not there in the ring taking the punches. So he's gonna be okay with not studying the fighters, because there's no urgency.
Of course.
There's no urgency from his side, because he's not taking the damage.
This verbal sparring has added a layer of intensity to an already high-stakes showdown. For Itauma's trainer, the confidence is justified, and he's gone on record saying that his fighter has all the capabilities to take out a heavyweight icon like Whyte. From his perspective, Itauma's combination of speed, technique, and composure makes him a dangerous opponent for anyone, even someone as experienced as Whyte. He said, "It's not something that we'd straight away say no to, like put it that way. He's got the capabilities. He's not the type of person who has to catch anybody at the right time. He's got the capability to beat anybody in the world. But not everyone is completely sold. Former heavyweight contender Dave Allen has weighed in with his thoughts, breaking down the risks and opportunities. Allen believes Itauma has the tools to win, but stresses that the fight's pace and rhythm will be key. If Itauma can control the tempo, keep Whyte from dictating the action, and avoid getting drawn into unnecessary brawls, he could come out on top. But Allen also knows that Whyte's veteran tricks, the rough clinches, the body shots, the sudden power punches, can turn a fight around in an instant.
I'm between disagree and strongly disagree. Within the years, like pretty soon, he's not boxed anybody yet, really. He's not boxed anyone inside the top 50. Usyk's still around. You still got Dubois, still got Fury. These are all going to be around for the next 12 months. So I think he could, but we haven't really seen him get hit back. He hasn't been hit back. He hasn't been pushed hard. He hasn't gone the rounds. He hasn't really boxed anyone above domestic level. So it's a guessing game. He's got the talent, but there's more.
The mental side of the matchup is another talking point. Whyte himself has been clear about his approach, using a striking analogy. Everyone wants to go to heaven, but no one wants to die. In other words, big rewards require big risks. He's framing the fight as a test of heart as much as skill, and he believes he has the edge in experience and toughness.
What do you keep getting about age, bro? The guy is 20 years old, he's highly ranked. He's knocked everyone out. You guys compare him to Mike Tyson. You guys say this and the other. Why you like keep mentioning 20-year-old? Bro, he's a full-grown heavyweight, bro. He's a man.
Because you could have had a bigger fight, a Joshua, a Parker, Chisora.
Joshua's injured. Chisora don't want to fight. Parker is just chat shit about whatever he's chatting about. And then no one wants to fight Moses. I've always been the man that takes on the fight that no one else wants to take on. So that's all I've got here.
On the other hand, Itauma's rise has brought comparisons to some of the biggest names in boxing. He's already been linked in conversations to a heavyweight who many say is bigger than boxing itself. A reference from an ex-world champion, Tony Bello, who doubts Itauma can ever surpass that legend. While that might sound like a knock, it also shows just how high the expectations are for the young fighter.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, you won't see a boxer who's the face of Lynx, who's the face of Under Armour, who's the face of Lucas, who's the face Hugo Boss.
Yeah, well, Joshua's bigger than boxing, though. Joshua's bigger than boxing.
This boy goes to Nigeria and shuts the country down.
Yeah.
This boy, he's an Olympic gold medalist. He's the country, like, he won an Olympic gold medal in his country in front of millions. The face of the heavyweight division. You've got to remember, to put it into simple terms, look what Tyson Fury done when he went to Germany.
Tony Belleau's comments took a different turn. Belleau dismissed talk of Itauma fighting Alexander Usyk in the near future, making it clear he thinks Itauma still has work to do before taking on someone at that level. That, in Belleau's eyes, makes the Whyte fight a huge stepping stone. Beat Whyte and Itauma's credibility in the heavyweight division will skyrocket. Lose, and the hype train might slow down fast.
That's the future of the heavyweight division, right there. That boy is so equipped, he's got so many skills, so many assets, he's unbelievable. The only thing that I worry about with Moses is the size. But ultimately, as we've seen now, size becomes irrelevant because look what Alexander Usyk's done. This guy's gone out and beaten everyone, including me. He's exceptional. So I don't think Moses is going to be as technically as good as Alexander Usyk, but he's the next in line. I think he's the future of the heavyweight division. I think he's an outstanding talent. I think he's got a good team around him, Ben Davison and Lee Wiley. Wiley is the brains that study everything, and they use what we call video analysis now in boxing. They're the one team that use it to...
Then there's the connection to Floyd Mayweather, which has added a bit of extra intrigue. Itauma has spent time around Money Mayweather, learning from one of the sport's most successful champions. The lessons aren't just about technique, they're about mindset, business, and handling the pressure that comes with being a rising star. Those lessons could prove invaluable in a fight where the mental battle is just as important as the physical one.
Your masculinity and XYZ, so like, I don't want like it to be like, yeah, that guy whooped my ass. Like, he handed it to me. Like, I don't want anyone to like kind of say that. I wanna be like Floyd Mayweather, for example, where like he made a lot of money in this sport, came out of his brains intact, no damage or whatnot, and nobody can say that, yes, I fucked him up.
In the lead up to the bout, Itauma has shown flashes of that Mayweather-like composure. He hasn't let the talk from Whyte's camp shake him, and he's kept his focus on preparing for every possible scenario. Whether it's a fast-paced start or a drawn-out war of attrition, he's promising to be ready. Whyte, though, isn't coming in to play the role of a stepping stone. The body snatcher has made a career out of fighting the best and giving fans brutal, memorable battles. He's been in with world champions, he's pulled off big wins, and he's weathered storms that would have broken lesser fighters. That experience gives him confidence that no matter what Itauma brings, he'll find a way to adapt. Among fight analysts, the predictions are split. Some see Itauma's youth, hunger, and fresh legs as the decisive factors. They believe Whyte's best days might be behind him, and that the speed difference will be too much. Others think Itauma's inexperience at the highest level could be exposed, and that Whyte's ability to turn a fight with one big shot will keep him dangerous from the first bell to the last.
It's a very difficult fight for him. You know, you can't afford to bite on Itauma's triggers and feints. He's got to land something early to get some respect off of Moses as well. And it's called the body snatcher. I think he's got to dig that body. He's got to try and take away the sharpness from Itauma by investing early doors, you know, on the body. He's got fast feet, sharp angles. You need to slow that down. And you know, if Dillian's got enough left, then that's what he's gonna have to do. Dillian's got a good jab himself. Might not be razor blade sharp, but he needs to be knocking Moses' head back while he then can step in and land some body shots. But it's a tough task.
The fight also carries long-term implications for both men. A win for Itauma could catapult him into title conversations and make him one of the most marketable names in heavyweight boxing. For Whyte, a victory would silence critics, prove he can still beat the top young contenders, and potentially set up another run at world title contention.
My feeling is that Moses' handlers, Frank Warren, George Warren, and Francis Warren, his manager, and Ben Davison, they wouldn't want to be putting him in this early in his career after just 12 fights if they didn't believe that he was going to win this fight, because there's too many risks involved for someone that's spoken about so highly, who people believe will take over the heavyweight division and might make it his era all the way up to say 2028, 2030. They believe that I think he will do a number on Dillian Whyte, but the young man himself is not overlooking Dillian, and that's very obvious in the interviews I've seen him give and the ones he's given to me.
As fight night approaches, the tension keeps building. The mix of youthful ambition and veteran grit is a classic recipe for drama. The back and forth talk, the split predictions, the stakes for both careers. It's all pointing toward a bout that could be remembered for years. No matter which side fans are on, they agree on one thing: this fight won't be dull. Itauma will try to prove that speed, preparation, and skill can overcome experience and raw power. Whyte will look to remind everyone that a battle-hardened veteran with knockout ability is always a threat.
His job's to not get hit.
Absolutely.
You know, and I know that we're all crying out, oh, I want to see what he looks like.
But he's going to get hit at
him.
some point, isn't he?
Yeah, when he comes up against, you know.
He's going to get hit at some point, and I got a little fight myself, Giorgio Vizioli. No one's hit him. O'Hara Davis caught him with a lovely backhand at the beginning. It was nice for me as his coach to see how he reacted. Now I'm sure Ben Davison's, seen him. He can't dodge every shot in it, So he's going to get hit from time to time. So that's how you build a Moses Itauma and a Giorgio Vizioli. They've got to be built In the gym.
Yeah.
In the gym.
Listen, he's just said it. Mark knows his onions, doesn't he? You know
Of
what
course
I mean?
he does.
He will, at this moment in time, he will 100% have had harder spars than he has had fight.
And somewhere in the middle of all that is the truth that Roy Jones Jr. pointed out. This is risky. For Itauma, it's the kind of risk that could make him a superstar or teach him the hardest lesson in the sport. For Whyte, it's a risk that could secure his legacy or mark the beginning of the end.
But Moses has spoken well so far, and he's got... he's not underestimating Dillian Whyte in any shape or guise or form, and I think he knows he's got to put in a great performance. A lot of people are expecting him to use his hand speed on Dillian and his footwork and stop Dillian, but Dillian's an old warrior at 37 and won't be giving it up lightly. And I think it may leak a few surprises. It wouldn't surprise me if Dillian did cause the upset, but also it wouldn't surprise me either if Moses Itauma looked very, very good against him and too young, fresh and fast.
When the bell rings, the talk will stop. It'll be just two men in the ring, one chasing the future, the other holding on to the present. And by the time the final bell sounds, one of them will walk away with more than just a win. They'll walk away with a statement. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit the like button, drop your predictions in the comments, and share this with your fellow boxing fans. And don't forget to subscribe to Ring Rivalry for more fight previews, expert takes, and all the stories that keep you ringside for every big moment.